Welcome back to the HR video series. In today's video, we'll be going over how to create a lifecycle event. Navigate to the lifecycle event table. For the purpose of this video, I went ahead and created the employee onboarding lifecycle event, but you can name it whatever you like, depending on the process you'll be creating. And so you can add a description. The display activity sets option allows you to control who can see the activity sets timeline on the HR ticket page. And in the employee view, we can sort it by the due date or display order. For this, we'll display it by the due date. And finally, the event type field allows you to select the event type of the lifecycle event. So for example, we're using onboarding event type. You can go ahead and create offboarding, onboarding, whatever you like. You just have to go ahead and create the choice for this field. So let's just navigate to there. And you just got to go ahead and create a new one. And so give it a label, give it a value, and then just come up here and click update once you finish. Leave it. So next, let's go ahead and create an activity set. We'll need to create a title. This is going to be the name of what will be displayed in the timeline. So we'll go ahead and start with creating a pre-boarding activity set. Next, we'll go over the trigger types. So immediate activity set triggers upon the creation of the lifecycle event. For a date, you can go ahead and this triggers on or after a specified date. We're going to use the HR profile for this example. And in the offset type, when you click none, this will be on the actual date. And then if you click before or after, you just have to set the offset quantity and then set the units. So you can either do it days, weeks, or months. The next trigger type is the other activity sets. This is the first activity, so there will be no other activity sets, but for the next ones, you can go ahead and just make sure that this one is finished first. Advanced, this is going to allow you to provide a custom script to determine when the activity triggers. So if you have multiple triggers, you can go ahead and set a condition, and based off of what table you use, you can specify certain conditions in order to go ahead and trigger this activity set. And so if you just went to the HR profile and you can go ahead and select employee start is on today, and it will go ahead and trigger based off that condition. And then last but not least, combination. So you can use all three of these and they will all have to be true. So you can base off your date, other activity sets, or condition. So for the first one, we're going to just go ahead and set this to immediate. And this is going to be displayed the first activity set, and then also audience. We're going to keep this blank, so this will be for global, but you can go ahead and trigger it based off of the audience you would like. Well, and for the next one, this will be the day one activity set, and this will be triggered on the employee's actual start date. And so we're going to come to the HR profile and select the employment start date. And we're going to set this to be on the actual start date. The last activity set that we'll create, this will be the final task. And we're going to go ahead and set this on a combination. The employment start date will be 90 days after the start date. The trigger will be 90 days after the start date. And we'll go ahead and make sure that the day one activity is finished. We'll keep this blank as well. And so we'll go ahead and create that. In the next video, we'll be going ahead and creating an HR service for this lifecycle event. So please stay tuned.